All right, good evening, good Sunday, guys. Welcome. This is a new video. This is Zach from BigBangCrypto. In today's video, we'll be creating a new table strategy, basically from scratch. I've deployed a webhook alert strategy onto another device, which is running with a time lapse, so a recording, which I will show you guys afterwards. Yeah, we've been trying out. Setting up automated strategies, and of course for me it's also a little bit getting used to, because all of this is new to me as well, but I think I found the right way to handle these indicators, and I'll yeah, try to share that with the guys that are ready for this and are able to try this out themselves. In the meantime, I've created some instruction videos which will be going over the basically um, um, the they will be going over like the simple stuff, right? The offset table, how to create agents. In this table, I will basically yeah, work from the knowledge that, or the idea that you guys are familiar with the offset tables and their settings. Some of you might already be somewhat familiar with some of the settings. So, yeah, I think it will just be helpful if I just talk over my ideas and how I would automate my indicator and my alerts basically. So what we will do, just for fun, we'll create an automation for like a very low time frame, let's say the 2-minute time frame, and we'll automate the signals that are the alerts that are coming in from this 2-minute time frame with our free indicator that you can find in the Discord. If you're new to this channel, we have a free indicator with source code, so yeah, you can get it all with buy alerts, add alerts, and all the good stuff. You can even use it on every time frame and it gives you the same stuff. You can use it on any asset and it's totally free, guys. So join our Discord and yeah, you'll have access to this indicator. Um, and if you get our software, you can yeah, fully automate this in with really cool strategies, which we'll do in this video. So after I created the tables and the strategies behind them, or the alerts behind them, I will basically deploy it in Discord and I'll keep a screen recording going. And yeah, they will be mixed with some other tables, but I think it will be cool to look at and how many trades we can complete profitably. So let's dive into it. First of all, a little bit of TA. We basically came close to the 55 EMA here, which was also somewhat aligning with the golden pocket if we take from these highs to these lows. All right, you can even take them to these lows, but yeah, same thing, candles close below the golden pocket. And currently we're getting some support from the 21 EMA. So after reaching the high, basically topping out, or we came for a retracement or a test of the 21 EMA, which held as support. This is an 18-minute chart, guys, so 18-minute candles, but the 21 EMA is the 4-hourly 21 EMA. Right, something we'll also be doing for our indicator, just to help our guide to our entries. We've plotted a 1-minute TRS on a 2-minute chart, right? So that we can see which TRS values are interesting for our agents to start looking for entries. All right. So yeah, let's get into it. I already opened some tables that I might use because I've used these tables for the test that I'm running on a separate device, and I think they'll do great. But I need to adjust every one of them. All right, so we'll be doing that in this video and might be a little bit boring to look at. But the idea behind this is that we're going to take entries which are basically going to trail with the price. So if we look at our indicator for the 2-minute, we can see that the add signals are given at the exact lows, the TP signals at the tops, and yeah, we have very nice buy signals with very nice adds and TPs. Like everything is looking good from the 2-minute. So let's see if the trend can continue and if we can make some profit from that. So how do I want to do that? Well, as we know, we are very close to lows and highs of the price. So what we can do is basically use trailing entries and stop losses, right? So if the price goes up, we take an entry and we place our stop loss close below our entry price so that our drawdown and our risk is basically covered. Right, so we can be stopped out, but if we follow the indicator correctly and the indicator has or the price is somewhat trending, we should end up profitable. So it will not only use the limit orders in this strategy, it will also do some market orders by following the price up and down. Right, so let's try to set that up. We know that the range is very small if we're talking about the 2-minute chart. So if we just do a measurement here, we're talking about ranges of 1.3%. So, okay, so we need to take that into account for our offsets, because if we know that the price can be ranging a long time within 1.3%, we know that our entries and exits should happen within that 1.3% in order for us to make profitable trades when the price starts actually ranging, right? So even if we have like this short signal, we need to take into account that it could be the very low that this short signal is coming in. So we need to cover for about 1.3% drawdown. Right, so that's just something I'll be taking into account. Per time frame, that's of course different. So this is only for the 2-minute time frame. Right, let's get into this. Let's start off with a bull trend change. Right, so these are our examples just to take some of these agents over from like this, and then we say, okay, we're every trend change. So we call this the video bull TC. All right, we have 3 agents, and the third agent is set to 4.5 offset. The first 2 are set to 0.5 offset. Entry multipliers, of course, set to 1, and the exit multipliers are very high, basically meaning they're not going to exit their position. All right, why is this? Well, we use our close position from our indicator, from our webhook alerts to close our position in this scenario. So we stick to the exit multipliers of 999 for now. It takes a 15% entry, a 5%, and another 5%. Well, because we're doing some trials and we're going to do it on the live market, let's just start somewhat smaller. So we're going to take a 10%, 5%, and another 5%. So we're taking a 20% of our balance entry on this particular bull trend change. All right, so if we go to the chart, what does that exactly represent? Well, on this particular scenario, when we have this candle confirmed with a bull alert below it, that means that on the next candle, we'll start entering for 20% of our position. All right, it's not the greatest entry because it will get some slight drawdown, but overall, up to our TP signal, that's a great trade. Right, and some scenarios like this one is also great, but then you have this one. You'll be entering basically at the top of a green candle with only a very little upside. All right, so then you'll be closing here, whatever 20% was here, you'll be closing that with a market order because you have a trend change. So you're going to lose slightly when it starts chopping, and that's why we will be adding more trading strategies to cover for a choppy market later on. But let's first start off with the trend changes. All right, so we have our trend change here for 20%. They are going to ignore the prevent entries, so they're not going to look at the TRS, RSI, whatever we want to call it. The overbought and oversold conditions, we're going to completely ignore that for now. And the next thing we want to do is tell them whether they're going to follow the price up and down or not for their entries, so the entry timeouts basically. And for this strategy, we're going to use a very low entry, trailing entry, and a bit higher of a trailing entry. And I will explain you the idea behind this, which is basically if the indicator gives us a signal, but the price is basically going down, so it's a sell signal, but the price is only going down, well, you want to kind of enter right away. Right, so as soon as price moves $0.50, which is 1 tick, which it will always do, you're going to buy the price. You're going to buy the asset. All right, so we basically made a direct entry of 10%. The next 5% is done with a limit order. So only if we go up half a dollar and then come down $5. Oh no, it's also a market order. Sorry, because it also has a trailing entry, but we need to go down $5 before we actually sell this. So let's do this a little bit differently. Let's set the offset to 6. So what we tell this agent is if price goes up $6, wait for it to come down $5, so lose most of the move up, and then you can execute your sell order of another 5%. And the last one is just a $4.5 offset as a limit order because it doesn't have a trailing entry. So it's just going to put a limit order up. All right, so these two are not limit orders. They're going to do market orders. This one is a limit order, but very close to the price and following the price closely. So as soon as the price moves $4.5 up within 0.1 minute, will basically be filled. Right, so these three are my bull trend changes, and they all basically make sure that I entered a position up on a bull trend change. That's the first thing we did. Okay, let's do the same thing for our bear trend change. So we just copy these three agents over and bring them over here. All right, and then we'll say that their cells are allowed. So var is in Dutch allowed, true I mean, and buys allowed, we have to set that to false. So these now are cell agents. For the rest, we don't really have to change anything. The rest can stay the same, and we've already done the job. The only thing we'd have to change is the name. So bear trend change 1, bear trend change 2. We can of course drag this over because I already made a spelling error, but in this way, okay, now it's correct. So we have three parents, no dots, no second layer being used. This is all okay. Now we have our trend changes. Let's also do the naming correct. So we call this the video bull bear trend change. All right. And the next thing we want to do is create the market making scripts. All right, so those will be run on ad signals, TP signals, you name it. All right, and we do that as follows. All right, so these were the ones that I was using before, and we want to use some of the structure here, but we want to change them to be a lot more aggressive because we're using a 2-minute time frame. So we want to do the market making a lot more aggressive. So let's just copy first of all the whole table, and then we're going to make our adjustments here. If we want to make it more aggressive, we just basically make a tighter spread. All right, so what we'll do here is we start decreasing these offsets and making them lower. So here I can do 0.10, then this can be 12, 24, 39, 59. All right, so from a 4% offset, we've gone to a 1.4% offset. So all the trades will happen within 1.4%. Now let's see, we know that long 6 has children, which are called long 6.1 to long 6.10, and those have another pair of grandchildren. Long 6.9 is the grandchild, long 6.9.1, this one is the grandchild of long 6.9, which is this fellow right here. And if we know we decrease the offset, do we still want all the trades to happen within 0.1%? I think what we want to do is at least move that towards here. So this is in my opinion the upper area is where we want the action to be happening. Why do I say that? Because we know that our range is 1.3%. So if we know that most of our trades and our bigger trades are happening in the higher part of the range that we're trading when the market is choppy, then we know that our market making will most likely be profitable, right? So we want to be in the higher range when we're shorting. We want to be in the lower part of the range when we're longing, right? So we're going to set the parents around this area. So from parent long 8, we can start having children's and grandchildren. So I think the one that I would think is most favorable is to use, yeah, let's start off with long 8 instead of the long 6. So we just replace this, put a dot 1. So we create now children for this parent. There we go. And then the ninth one had grandchildren. So we drag that to the grandchildren here, put a point 1 behind it. And there we go. Then parent 10 has grandchildren, and I would like to keep that to parent 10. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then we're going to also make these, some of these a little bit smaller. So let's get into that. All right, I'm satisfied with the results here. The percentages are high, but it's just a scalping account that we're going to do this on. So you can adjust the percentages to your liking, make them lower, depending what your risk appetite is on the particular account you're trading, on the particular strategy you're trading. All right, so I'll keep this as it is right now, and I'll basically copy over the changes to a new table as well. Same thing here, we already did the offset, so we can just basically copy over all these offsets and replace those for the bears so that we get the lower ones, as you can see right here. Okay, that worked out fine because the tables are just as big. They're basically replications of each other, but then bullish. The one is bullish and the other one is bearish. And we have to also change the names like we have them currently set. So parent 8, oh, parent 8 has children and grandchildren instead of parent 6, which is the same in this scenario. So we change this, put the dot 1 behind the parent, and drag them down until the grandparents start, and then the grandparent 6.9.1 has to be replaced with short 8.9, and then you put a point 1 behind it and drag it back down so that you replaced all the grandchildren, and the 10 could remain the same. So basically we've adjusted and created 2 new tables based on our previous tables. All right, on to the TP signals. So on our TP signals, we do want to take some profit, but at the same time, we could also do some front running and basically enter enter counter position. I think we should just go for the taking profit. So because we took 20% position at least right from the start of the signal, we can start taking at least 15 or maybe let's keep it to 10%. We can take 10% profit on TP signals, right? So let's create those, and we already have them from our last tables. And what you can see is I put a delay profit. All right, a delay profit means after they close their take profit profitably, they basically don't get into another short, right? So we're going to make these a lot lower because these are based on a higher time frame, where I basically use them to tell my bot that after taking some profit here, and flipping it back, you don't need to take shorts again, right? Because a take profit on a long is basically taking some short contracts, right? And if you did that and it succeeded and you flipped them back and you basically closed it again, that's fine. You took some profit. That's what you want to do, and you want to continue because the price will go higher, because you have scenarios where your first and second and third take profits are basically not the places you would like to exit all of your positions. So for example, this short here, you have a take profit here. If you take too much profit or you basically flip long all the way, this is not going to be helpful, because this indicator helps you to stay in the trend and not make yeah, not catch a falling knife basically. So you want to take partial take profit here for 10%, for example. If you did that, okay, wait out some candles to do that again, and close it again, and yeah, just actually take profit instead of close position, right? Because that's something different. And we have to kind of measure how much time is on average between the different signals. So that's why we're gonna just like a rough estimate, right? So we see that it's something like 20 minutes. So we can say that we set a timeout of 20 minutes. We can say 12 minutes. That's enough for the 2-minute time frame, I guess. We just set it to 12 minutes, and we should be fine here. The trailing entries are a lot too high. For this time frame, so I decreased those a little bit. I think the offsets are okay. Yeah, they should be fine here, and I have the naming correct, so I can basically do the same thing, video TP, and create a new one which I'll call video TP on the bull side, TP bull, and then now we're going to create a TP bear. TP there. All right. Bum, bum, bum. Video TP there. Right. And what did we do for this one? We changed this to 12. We changed this to 2, something like this, and then a little bit different. It's fine. And then we left the rest, so that's fine. We now created all our tables that we want to use, and next on we just want to start off our trading software.
Color doesn't mean much. Doesn't much.
Of course, I do have to download these tables and put them in my active tables, which is a step that I skipped currently. And I think I'm gonna keep some of these tables to run alongside my signals, just to make sure I don't lose too much. So short UI, because why I say that, the alerts are basically trials, right? So it's new to me as well. I don't know what the results of that will be with the 2-minute indicator. I've never tried that, so this is the first time for me. But what I have tried are these. So let's get these short UI. That's fine. I want to run that and short. So remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this, and double check if the names are not the same as names I'm about to run in my order table. So the one long is fine. Looks good. because these names are all different. Yes, sir, they are all different, right? So then we can download them as CSVs and put them into our active tables. All right, so as you saw, I left some of my old tables in, and I'm going to put those as at support and resistance areas on the chart that I will show you guys right now. We're going to put some of those tables to activate at support and resistance areas. So it's looking quite bullish because we can sustain the 21 EMA, but it's a weekend, so I'm not going to take it seriously, and I'm going to just keep shorting as long as I don't see any great confirmation, because I do think this might go up more, but yeah, there might be retraces on the way. So I'm going to start my shorty table at 44K and my bigger short at 45.4. That you guys might not have this installed, but for me it's just opening up with this sometimes, and it's easier as inputting them into Google Docs. And all I have to do is adjust the active above and below parameters. So these are active above 42 and I want to set them to 44K. Let's front run that a little bit. All right. And then copy them all over to all the parents. This will make sure that this table will only be active above this particular price, and then they will start shorting. That's great. Apply this to the shorty table, and then we'll do that for the longy table. Is there any support that I really would like to buy? I guess 21 EMA, which might of course drop, so it's not that fancy. But if I put it right below it, we can get some action from the VWAP and expect a bounce. Do I really want to be a buyer? I guess I could. It's fine. Just to have more action going, I will 42,940, 42,940, 42,940. All right, so active below 42,940, 42,940. That's it. All right, and the levels that you saw I had before, that's what I left on overnight on this particular table and was pretty profitable. It was really nice. Um, so 10% account balance is the actual the actual numbers behind it, which is great, right? So, all right, so we do the longy and shorty, and then we start all the indicator stuff. So now we actually have our tables in there. We can start up the bot itself. And of course, guys, soon this page will load and we're going to create our signals. Okay, so for me, it was also a little bit getting used to the new user interface and creating signals, but I think I found my rhythm in creating them. And yeah, we need to pay some attention on what it actually is that we want to do. First of all, so it's not cannot blindly do this. You have to really think about what it is you want to do and what tables you want to activate, when you want to close position, all those things in order to create an algorithm that will be sustainable in the market, right? So we're going to create it in this one so I can remove. Yes. And open this up. And we're going to paste our messages here. So bool alert, add alert, TP alert, and whatever. And whatnot, I meant to say. Okay, so our bot is loading up, and of course you have to give it time because there is 10 tables in our bot at the moment, in our bot folder, in our active table folder, and it will tell us when all the agents are loaded and ready to go. So we are at 8 now, and should be done any second here. As soon as we are, sorry for that, as soon as we are ready to trade, you can refresh data on your user interface. And wow, that looks a bit messy. I don't know how that is possible. There we go. Everything's loaded correctly. We scroll down and we're going to create signals, all right? But before we create signals, there's two steps we have to do. We have to first of all start our webhook connection so that our bot can receive signals. Run webhooks. There we go, looks something like this. You can ignore it after it started. There we go, it started. And the next thing, you want to set up an ngrok connection, which I think most of you have already installed. So you have to set up an ngrok connection and log into your ngrok account and type ngrok http 80 and get your ngrok link. Oh, I did something incorrect, I think. I'm already signed into this ngrok account. All right, so I will be doing that afterwards. But if we have our webhook connection up and our ngrok is up, then is this, no, this is not the webhook. This is the webhook. Then we can start creating the signal. So let's get into that. Our first signal will be for the bull trend change. Right, that's the first table we're gonna work with. So what do you want to do on a bull trend change? If you have a bull trend change, I would assume you want to run the video bull trend change. So that's this particular table. You want to activate it, activate it, activate it. So whatever position you have, you want to start getting into a long because the trend just got bullish. Okay, so we click on apply. That's the first thing we did. You want to deactivate this particular table because we're not anymore bearish. So if there is a table running, then please deactivate it. Do you want to do something with the video TP bull? So a TP bull is shorting because there is a TP signal, all right? So let's assume that this might have been running still. Do you want to short? No, that's not something we're looking to do. So we're going to just deactivate this one as well. Would you like to close a short position upon receiving a bull trend change? Well, let's say we do. Do you want to close a long position you're holding if you get a bull trend change? No, that bull position should be fine. So we click on apply. We don't want to do anything with the long UI, longy, shorty, short UI, the video bear and video bull. The video bull was basically our sideways and our market maker. So we want to activate this actually. So activate, activate, activate. And if there is any video bear running, we want to deactivate it. All right. So we want to deactivate anything else basically, because if we get a bull trend change, all we want to do is run these two, the video bull and the video bull trend change. Okay, so deactivate, click apply, and then video bear, deactivate, 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 and click apply. Right, so now we created our message and it has like a close position if it's a short, and this is going to be the message we're going to paste in for the bull trend change. Right, so if you copy over this message and we go into a notepad, right? Oh, that's not what it was supposed to paste. Could be current. hope I did that correctly. Yeah. So we have our buy, and it will, if we're in a long position, so this means if we're in a long position, then we activate video bull trend change, video bull, and we deactivate TP, TP bull and bear, trend change and bear, right? We don't close any long position. But if we're in a sell, we're still going to activate these two. We're still going to deactivate these two, but we're going to close our position as well. If we have no position, we're still going to activate these two. We're still going to deactivate these two, and there is no need to close our position, and then you get your license key, right? Okay, so that's our first bull trend change. So we're going to type here, all right, and then we're going on with our second message. Right, so you can use these as reference and check if your messages come out correctly when you create a strategy like this. We go down, we refresh the thingy again. Now we first go down. What I like to do is click on reset, then click away, then click on refresh. And what it will do is it will give you a clean signal template again. So now we can start off from scratch, and what we want to do next is do the bear trend change. So the bear trend change is basically the same thing as the bull trend change, but then the other way around. So we want to activate our video bear trend change, activate, 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 apply, and deactivate. Deactivate. Anything to do with the bull seems to, okay, so deactivate, deactivate, deactivate. So we apply those two. Video TP bear, well, let's deactivate, 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 and also deactivate. Okay, so we're going to run the video bear, so that one we should activate it. Right, so we have these two activated, the rest is deactivated. And which position do we want to close? Well, we want to close a long if we have that open on the bear trend change. Okay, copy over this message, go here, and there we go. Same thing here. Okay, so on a buy, we run the bear trend change and the bear. We deactivate all the following tables, right? Same as last time. On a sell, and we close our position, right? Because it's we have a long open and we're getting a bear signal. Close that long, right? So sell has the same thing, but then close false, and none doesn't really require this particular setting. So it looks good to me. Let's continue. Same as last time, we go down to the edit signals. We make sure that we start off with a clean sheet by clicking on reset and then refreshing our data. Okay, edit signal. What we want to do next is the bull TP. So when you have a bull TP, so let's go over that a little bit because I also need to refresh my memory. How are we going to approach a bull TP? And I can quickly look at my other screen and find out, but let's just think of that together. If you have a TP signal, you want to run the TP table, and it needs to be deactivated on an add signal. I think that would make most sense. Okay, so on an add signal, we definitely need to deactivate TP, and of course they get deactivated on trend changes. So for the take profit signals, you kind of only want to do that if there is an open position towards the trend direction. So if you're taking profit for a bear, you'd only want to do that if there is an open short position. So that's what we will be paying most attention to. So we will start with the TP bull signal. So we want to run the TP bull table, video TP bull. So activate, activate, and activate. Click on apply. So no, we only do this, of course, if there is an open long position. So if there is an open long position, no. If there is no position, deactivate. So yeah, this looks better. So if there is a TP signal and there is a position towards a trend, then activate them, otherwise deactivate them, right? So let's click this one and copy this message over, see if it's correct here. Yep, that looks good. All right, so we have our TP bull. Same thing for the bear TP. We just refresh our page quickly. All right, so here and then reset, refresh data, and get back down here. And what we want to do is TP for the bears. TP for the bear signal, video TP bear. Activate, no, only activate on short, deactivate, deactivate, apply. That was the only thing we did. So copy, double check if it's correct. So only activate on sell. If we have a short position, yes, and then otherwise if we have a long, deactivate. Right, that looks good. Then we have the add signals. Let me quickly have a look how I did that. All right, so up on the add signals, I basically activate and deactivate the sideways tables, which are already activated within the trend condition itself. So it's not really necessary to use those. What we can do is run something else, but I think this will do it for this example. So we basically closed our position in some scenarios and we run and deactivate, activate some tables. There is a time lapse running of this, and I will also try to get a test or a basically a stream up with these particular settings and run it in the Discord so you guys can have a look, or at least try to make time lapse for you guys. So hope this was useful, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'll be pasting these tables. I'll be sharing these tables, so the ones that I'm using currently, and also sharing the webhook messages that I created in this example video. So I hope you guys enjoyed and have a good day. Bye bye.